Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who are new, hi, my name is Charlotte Gogallen. I am a Scottish vlogger, BBC social contributor, and an array of things. I do lots of like editing and video making and stuff like that. So if you're looking for something, then hi. So this is the Junket folder. This is an interview show that I do on YouTube, and this is episode 5. I cannot believe that we're on episode 5 already. It is so exciting to me. I love how much this show has grown. I'm feeling much more comfortable doing it now. Looking back on my first few videos, I was definitely nervous and I had no clue what I was doing at all. But the premise of this video is just to have fun and just to get to know your guests and for you to get to know them as well. So my guest today is a young man that I've never met before. Literally don't know this person at all, but that's what makes it so exciting. His name is Michael, and from what I've gathered, he is a BBC social contributor. He's done some work for STV, and he just seems like a really nice guy. He just seems like someone that you'd want to have a wee chat with. So without any further ado, let's move over and I will say hello to my first guest of the Junket Folder episode 5, Mr. Michael McEwan. Hi Michael.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm really good. It's so nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well. And thanks for saying that I'm a young guy. I'm not really. I'm nearly 40 and stuff. But thanks for saying that I'm a young guy. It makes me feel young again.
You don't look 40, that's for sure. You don't look 40 at all. So how am I finding you today? How are you?
Yeah, everything's okay here. It's a bit wet here. Obviously it's been nice weather the last few days, but it's been peeing of rain. But I don't know if I can see peeing of rain, but it's been horrible weather the last few hours. So, but yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
It's that kind of hot, uncomfortable rain as well. So it's not cold. I'm actually sweating. I've got a big glass of ice water here and I've got my windows open and it's just so warm. It's so sticky and uncomfortable. But yeah, that's just what it's been like the last couple of days. The sun has just vanished. It's just gone away and now we're here. So as I was saying to the viewers, we've never met before. We actually don't know each other. You're a complete stranger and I'm a complete stranger. And I think there can be something really interesting in that. So as you tell me, why don't you tell the audience who you are and a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, my name's Michael McEwan. I'm from Barhead. I'm a BBC social contributor, but I also do freelance work for the BBC, and I'm a journalist as well, where I write for different newspapers and stuff. At the moment, I'm making a documentary for Radio Scotland, and yeah, so that's me, and I'm here, and I'm happy to be here speaking to you today.
That's so nice. Thank you so much for saying that. And can you tell me a little bit about what this documentary is going to be about? Because I have no idea what it's about. As I've said, we don't know one another, so this is just such.
Mm.
I just love this. I just love talking to people that I don't know because it's so interesting. So please tell me what this documentary is about if you can, because it sounds really fascinating.
Yeah, well, I'm quite excited about this, to be honest, Charlotte, because this is like my first commission for Radio Scotland on a documentary. So I was delighted that I got the commission. Obviously, um, I spoke to like the head of Radio Scotland way back a few months ago, and basically at that time he said, "Yeah, it's going to be, I kind of like the idea, but we still got to, sign off and cross T's and dot the I's or whatever they say. I don't actually know. So, and I was desperate to tell people, like my mum and dad and like my partner and all that, to see if it got like commissioned. And I was 99.9.9.9, that's enough nines in there, about that being commissioned, but I was just waiting for them to sign it off. So now I can tell people about it. So it's going to be about the Paralympics coming up in August. Yeah, yeah, August. Kind of get a bit mixed up now because of this coronavirus. Everything's been put back and stuff like that. So I'm in the middle of it now. So I'm working with a brilliant producer at Radio Scotland, and we're working on it. And like the last couple of weeks, it's been good fun actually because I've been like recording interviews a bit like what we're doing now. But I mean, the only negatives in about it would be I would love to go out and meet these people, but I can't because obviously Mr. Coronavirus is here, so we've got to do everything by Zoom and stuff. Um, so yeah, so that's coming out in August. I don't know the exact date yet or whatever, but you'll be the first one to know. I tell everybody that, but you will be the first one to know. Yeah,
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
second one.
And hopefully when this video comes out, there will be a link to that
Yeah,
series, to that documentary that I can link down below so that people can see it, because I definitely will be watching. I'm so curious about that because I'm not that versed on the Paralympics. I've never watched it. I mean, I'm aware of it, but I've never watched it myself, and that's just me being honest. But it sounds like what you're doing, you've put a lot of work into it, and you've that's the thing that a lot of people don't know, is that when you work in the media, things don't just happen very quickly as much as we'd like it to. Sometimes
mm,
ideas are sanctioned or written or scripted, and you can wait almost a year for something to be greenlit. It can take a really long time, and COVID definitely put a lot of projects on hold, not just for yourself, for me, for many people all over the world. So it's so nice to hear that it's finally coming to fruition and that it's finally going to be happening. So that's so cool. I had no idea. That's actually amazing. I think that's going to be really fun. I think it's going to be really nice to see. So I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, yeah. What I would say was it's not on the TV. It's Radio Scotland, so it's a kind of radio documentary rather than a TV documentary.
I like listening to podcasts, so I will find it somewhere. I will find it
Yeah,
on Spotify or iTunes or BBC Scotland. They have an
BBC
app.
Sounds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
BBC Sounds. They have an app for that. So that's awesome. So I'll definitely be listening to that and hearing all the interesting stories from all of the
cool.
Paralympics that you're going to be chatting to.
Yeah,
So that's awesome. So now comes the part everyone everyone looks forward to and everyone dreads. Um, so these are your questions. So let's just jump straight into it, because I don't really have a smooth transition into these questions. I just kind of
right.
say, right, here we go. Let's just go for it. Let's see if we can find something that will be mind blowing. I don't know. Okay, so my first question for you, Michael, is who is the most fascinating person that you've ever met?
Oh, can I see myself? No, no, that's a bit cheesy. I'm not actually sure. That's like who's a fascinating person I could meet. I think uh, I'm going to say a couple of weeks ago I interviewed the ex-Scotland manager Craig Brown, um, uh, and I'm not sure if you're into football or whatever, but like I was interviewing him for a show that I was doing for the Euros. Sadly, Scotland get booted out in the first round, but I was just so interested listening to him and his like experience about like football over the past couple of years and when like he was manager as well. So I think that would be a person that I really enjoyed speaking to. Got lots of information that you don't hear on TV because it's always kind of top secret and all that kind of stuff. So, and then when we finished recording the interview, we actually stayed on for like 25 minutes. I mean, I could speak till the cows come home, typical journalist, I would say, but like, no, he was just a good, nice guy and dead down to earth as well, and sadly, you don't get a lot of people like that. So, yeah, I would say Craig Brown, yeah.
That's actually really cool. Do you follow? I don't follow football. The only time I followed football was the last couple of weeks because Scotland were playing and it was just everywhere. But do you follow football? Is that something that you're versed on? Like you just know all about it? Because I struggled to watch it. There was like they were holding up cards and I was like, what does that mean? I was the most annoying person to watch a match with because I just didn't know what was going on. So, I mean, you watch it, yeah.
Yeah, right. So I'm a big football fan, and I go to the games and all that. Obviously, not last season because of the coronavirus, and you want to get football and stuff like that. So, and in fact, one random story that I could tell you that I was watching one of the games at home, and my team was actually playing football on the TV, and they scored, and I jumped up, and believe it or not, I bust the couch. Yeah, and that's I'm not making it up. That's like a clear story. So
Okay.
we try and avoid sitting on that seat because
Because it's
I
fun.
was into that boy that busted. Yeah, sorry.
That's
All right.
awesome. Okay, my next question for you is, if you went on a road trip with a character from a TV show or a film, who would it be?
Oh, oh, um, and character on a road trip. I would like to. I don't know why, right? It's a bit random what I'm going to say here, but I quite fancy going to Wales. The reason being is, right, I've always saw Wales on the TV, and I'm like, oh, that looks nice, like the waterfront and all that, and the beaches and all that. But who would I go with in holiday? Am I like one person or a few different
I mean,
people?
you can have as many if you've got a big enough bus. I mean, you could have a whole cast in there. So
All right, okay. So I'm not going to mention any female TV presenters because my girlfriend might watch this and she might get a bit annoyed, bit tough. Um, who? Oh God, that's a hard one for. Um, hmm, I would say. Uh, I would say. Um, uh, Oh God, I um,
I like to ask questions that make people really think.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm working for my money today. Um, I don't actually know. Go. Um, See, I've never been asked this question before, so like it's
That's the point. I like to ask questions I don't think people have been asked.
yeah, I know, yeah. It's uh, I would say maybe my um oh yeah, sorry, it's just suddenly coming to my head. Alan Patrick's
Oh, okay.
Steve Coogan, yeah.
If you could have the power to either fly, read minds, or be invisible for a day, which one would you choose and what would you do with it?
Oh goodness, oh I would like to yeah, definitely read minds, yeah,
Mhm.
read mine as well, yeah, if
And
that's possible.
whose mind would you be the most interested to read? Because there's so many
Um,
that I would love to know.
I would maybe write to read Boris Johnson mind to see why kind of comes up with the weird kind of excuses and stuff. And I would like to whisper to him in his ear that, can you not get a haircut?
Yeah, yeah. Like if you could read his mind, maybe you could say into his brain, like, you have got to do
Yeah,
something with your hair, because it's just,
yeah,
it looks ridiculous. It looks absolutely
yeah.
ridiculous. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's actually a
I
good
mean,
answer. That's a great answer.
when you've got all that money and you can't get your hair cut, it's like, oh, the world's coming to a complete end if you're not getting a haircut, right? It's like Brexit, it's Brexit's fault because I can't get my mop cut, It's
And then
uh,
COVID happened, and that was another excuse to not get his haircut.
yeah,
So it's like, right, we're kind
yeah,
of coming out of it now, so why don't you use all that money to go to a really fancy salon? And you could buy the place out for a whole day with his salary. You could buy it out, you could order food, you could have a little party while you're getting your haircut. So I just don't understand why he doesn't do it.
I mean,
So
I don't. This is a bit random what I'm going to say here, but why could they not just go to a car wash?
you know what? I think you'd need to go to a car wash because there's a lot of it. I think you'd need to go to a car wash because there's so much of it to clean and cut and do all that crazy stuff too.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, that was great.
I think I'd like to read the Queen's mind. I'd like to see what she's thinking.
Oh, right.
Yeah. There's tons of people, but that's like someone that's quite famous that I think, oh, 'cause she's quite quiet. Whenever she's on, she never talks. So I'd like to know what she's really thinking.
And
Like,
she doesn't look that happy when you see her. It's like, I've just getting that millions of money. Surely to God, you're going to be, oh, he's funny, and
Yeah.
have a wee chuckle to himself and say that, when am I going home for my pheasant and chips? You know, but yeah,
call my corgis.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. What do you think the closest thing to real magic is? Like, what's something that you just think is like, wow, that's so amazing. That's literally magic. Because I think of things like the ability to see. Like, that's actually amazing to think that we can do that. Mobile phones. I think that, I mean, we're so used to them, but at the same time, you think like, wow, there was just like nothing like that 50 years ago. But now
Mm.
everything's just so evolved. But what do you think? What's the closest thing to magic to you?
I think like, and I might go back to the big C word at the moment, COVID. I think like if we had COVID maybe about 20 years ago, how would people cope without like mobile phones or like laptops or the way that we're speaking now? Because I don't know how I would cope, because I spend most of my day on the laptop, and that's me because I've got so many different channels, but so many things it's not on the box. It's terrible. You've got so many. You've got all BBC, STV, and all that, and then you've got Sky, but nothing's on. And you're paying all that money for bugger all. So I think like technology's a good thing to uh, um, communicate with people and do like what we're doing now, like vlogging and podcasting and stuff like that, and that, I mean, that documentary that I'm making for Radio Scotland, it's like, if we didn't have this technology, we wouldn't have got round to doing it, So yeah, it's quite good. So I would say technology.
Yeah, I think that's like probably the most obvious answer. I think whenever I've heard that question being asked before, a lot of people tend to say that. But I'm just like, oh, your eyesight, that's really amazing. The fact that we can talk to each other, that's me just going a little bit too happy for that kind of question.
Yeah.
So when you've been on set, I mean, I'm guessing you've been on a lot of sets, throughout your career or when you've been doing journalism work and stuff like that. But has anything like really funny ever occurred when you've been on like a set, like anything you've seen or anything that's happened to you while you've been on set? Because I have a whole list of things that have happened to me or things that didn't go quite right. But I won't bore anybody with that. So I just wondered if you had any stories like that you could share.
Any funny stories? Um, not recently. I could give you like a regular one if that's
Mhm.
kind of if that's. I
Absolutely.
know it's not. I know it's not a set. It's.
It's a studio. It's
So
still a studio.
so about 5 or 6 years ago, um, as well as being like into my journalism work and all that, I've done that for years. But also like when they've got a like if they're looking for somebody to comment on disability issues, usually they phone me and say, Michael, are you able to come on and all that kind of stuff. So they phoned me this day, and I don't know if you watched Britain's Got Talent years ago,
Yeah.
and the Lost Voice man, won Britain's Got Talent. The Lost Voice man's, well, mm, I take it you would know of him if you watched it. He's got cerebral palsy and can't speak and stuff. Anyway, so but at the back of my mind, I thought, well, I might get a phone call tomorrow because he's just won Britain's Got Talent. But as well as that, I'm like the local chairperson of my local disability group, right?
Uh-huh.
Usually I spend most of my time up at the council building in East Renfrewshire because that's where I'm from.
Okay.
So they, lo and behold, Radio Scotland phoned me about 10 past 10, to say, Michael, can you come on at 11:30 to speak about the Lost Voice Man? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, cool. And I came off the phone and I was like, oh shit, I need to do something, because I was going to the council offices, right? So this is my impression of a phone. I don't know. So I phoned the council, the woman that I was going to meet, right? And I said to her, look, I'm actually coming up for a meeting with one of your colleagues, but also I'm going on Radio Scotland at the back of 11, but I need to find a quiet space. Can you do that for me? So she said, yeah, I can arrange a room and all that. So I was, yeah, brilliant. So I phoned a taxi and blah, blah, blah. The taxi came and I went up there. And the woman says, right, Michael, I've got you a quiet space so that you can go on and do the interview, right?
Mhm.
You know where at the council building, you know where people gets married up at, like the, what do you call that? The I'm having a senior moment here.
Me
You
too.
know that.
I don't know.
No, no, right, okay. Well, the people gets married in this kind of room. It's set up for if people didn't want a kind of like a church wedding, or
Oh,
you know,
like a
stuff
city
like that.
building type of like a registration office.
Aye, yeah,
Right.
right,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, right. So guess, right, they put me in there.
Mhm.
Right, so I was on the phone speaking about blah blah blah. It's brilliant how he won Britain's Got Talent, and I was sitting next to a bouquet of flowers. Right, so I was actually in the room myself. Right, and I was all set up for. I was all set up for a wedding that day, and this bouquet of flowers was like lying on the table, and I was speaking about, yeah, 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 that was brilliant that he won Britain's Got Talent. So that's basically a random story, but like I thought that was quite funny
Yeah,
and all that, you know.
that
Whereas if
was
I didn't have that, I wouldn't have. If I was in the house, I would have been okay, you know.
fine.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's great. So like you did the interview in a registry office, so it looked like you were getting married to the guy with no
Yeah,
voice. That's brilliant. That's a really
yeah,
cool story because I didn't know where it was gonna go. I don't know what this. That's what I love about asking these questions is that the stories will start, and I don't know where they're gonna end up, and then they end up somewhere completely different from where I thought they were gonna be. So that's so. How long ago would that have been? Because I remember watching that because it was like everywhere. Like the Lost Voice guy was, absolutely everywhere at the time. But I don't really remember how long ago it was. Was it? Oh God, what
I
year
think
was
that
that?
was about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe more. And also that day, I came home and it was a roasting hot day, and I was that I'm definitely getting my shots on and all that, and just chill out. And then I got a phone call. I can always remember this, right? I got a phone call at 5:15 from Scotland Tonight to say, Michael, do you want to come on the show? And usually, like when people's not never been on TV before, they're like, well, I'm not actually sure. Can I phone you back in 10 minutes? And I'm like, okay, hell yes, I'll be up here, right? So I had to take my shots off again, put my clothes back on. This is like a weird kind of porn movie. Yeah. So and all that, and I went into the studios, and like that was my first kind of like taste of kind of like doing TV work and stuff, and that was pretty cool actually, because I wasn't expecting these kind of two jobs could come up in the one day. So yeah.
So is journalism something that you've just always been interested in? Doing interviews, talking to people. Has that been something you did in school, or was that something that kind of came after? Because there's a lot of people that when they're in high school, they want to do one thing and then they leave, and then it's like, oh, that's actually not really what I thought it was going to be, or it's really difficult. I'll choose something else. So was that something you always wanted, or was that just something that you chose later in life?
Yeah, right. So I've always been into kind of like radio, TV, the whole media kind of like experiences that were. I've never went to college to do any qualifications about media. I've just learned it as basically the jobs went on.
Mhm.
So I kind of like self-taught myself doing like different things, and like a random story as well. I told you I'm just random. When I was younger, I used to have like a kid on radio station in my house.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was back in the day when like I had tapes, so like that wasn't yesterday or last week kind of thing. But nobody was listening to me. It was only me playing music. I can remember because it was like between like 4 and 5 at night, and like I was doing it for like I think it was doing it all week, like 5 days a week and stuff. And it was back in the day when if I wanted to play a song and the I wasn't lined up for the song, I had to bloody like rewind it back and stuff like that. And I was back in the day when you heard the noises of rewinding and fast forwarding and stuff like that.
Like
So
that kind of noise.
yeah, so that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. I like that, and I think that that's also really. I like what you said about how you self-taught yourself, and that's something that I think a lot of people need to not shy away from, because I think it's a really amazing thing to teach yourself to do anything. Even if you work in a supermarket or something, you can still teach yourself how to do lots of other skills, like how to edit videos, how to do eyelashes, how to make scrunchies, how to do artwork. Like there's just a bountiful vault of things that people can teach themselves to do. Like I wasn't taught how to do video or how to do I was kind of trained on interviews, just I was told by various people, like, don't ask this and don't do that, and it's you're just constantly learning, you're just constantly evolving. But I think the best experience you can get when you're learning anything is just by going out there and doing it. And I
Yeah,
think that
definitely.
I think that's something that just can't be taught. And I think that it's amazing that you seem to be constantly busy. You seem to be always doing something, for radio, for the social, for TV. And I just want to know if you have any advice that you would give to somebody that is a little hesitant to start off doing maybe something that you do in terms of journalism or interviews. Would you just give any advice to anybody that's getting started?
I, I think you basically hit the nail on the head there, Charlotte, when you said like experience is key, because like you can go to like college for like 10 years or whatever, but that's not gonna guarantee you a job, in my opinion. It's only going to give you a qualification. So yeah, I mean, for me, giving advice, I mean, who would listen to me anyway? But like, if I was giving advice, I would say, like, get as much experience as possible, get networking with different people. I mean, that's how I got involved. Like, at the BBC, like, networking with like Ryan Percy, at the social and all that, and then just kind of like pitch ideas and stuff like that, and don't feel down like if they might email you back the first time you say no, no, that, but just keep working at it, and like you'll get there and stuff like that. But you said early on, like it's very difficult to get into to like what we're doing and stuff like that, and I mean, you're the same as me, possibly, but I love what I do, and I meet a lot of interesting people, and all that. So yeah, just keep networking and pitching ideas. I mean, I spend most of my life pitching ideas. That's how I got this kind of like the documentary as well. But yeah, but what I would say was, email like a producer, whatever, if you're not sure about, or can I have a meeting with you or run ideas past them and stuff like that. They're very helpful at the BBC as well. Bigging up to the BBC to get at me. But
They're
yeah,
always
um,
looking. They're always looking for content. They're always looking for new talent. So if you're feeling hesitant, don't. I mean, you can go on the socials Google page, and there's an applications section. I don't think a lot of people know that, but there is an application section. All you have to do is send them. You fill out a wee form, and if you've got anything you've ever made before, any sketch or comedy stuff, or any spoken words pieces that you've done, just email them over. Someone will pick it up, because you might just be what someone's looking for, and you just don't know it yourself, but you could be exactly what someone's looking for. Well, Michael, it was absolutely wonderful having you on the show today. This was a really nice, a kind of different feeling interview. I did start off asking my kind of junket folder questions, but then we kind of digressed and started talking about, you know, all the things that you do and kind of what we do at the same time. And you gave a really good piece of advice to someone that could be watching this that might want to get started. So thank you so much for being here today. That was really nice of you to swing by and to come on the show. And I do hope to have you back in a year or so to talk about what else you've done, you know, a year from now, to see what's changed. Did Boris ever get that haircut? Where are we going to be with coronavirus? All of that stuff. So thank you so much for coming on the show today. I really appreciate your time and I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, listen, thanks for asking me, and I'll speak to you soon.
Absolutely, yeah. So I hope you have a good day. I hope you stay healthy and stay safe, and I will see you very, very soon.
Okay, nice one. See you soon.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.